lovely Milky Way galaxy. So this idea just came to me as I was getting ready to film this vlog for you guys today, and that is, I believe, now I know I can't speak for every single person on this planet, but for me personally, I'd like to learn more than just one language that I know for certain, which is English. I may not sound English, or I mean not English, sound English, but I may sometimes, my words may not come across as English, it may come across as gibberish to a lot of you. The fact of the matter is that I'd like to learn other languages other than English, the one I'm speaking to you guys right now. For example, I'd like to learn, Portuguese and German and Japanese and Chinese, whether that be Cantonese version or Mandarin version. In Spanish or, all these other countries that exist in this world. French. All these other languages that are out there that exist. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to go to these countries or anything to speak to those individuals that are from those countries, but I just want to learn these languages. Sure, just because I'm Portuguese and just because I'm German and just because I'm, some of these languages I want to learn doesn't necessarily mean it translates to the reason why I want to do it. It's because I believe that some cultures, some other countries and other languages could be interesting to learn. And it's not just French, it's not just Portuguese, it's not just Spanish, it's not just German, it's not just these languages I'm mentioning. It could be a whole slew of other languages as well that I could learn or you guys can learn out there in the world. And I'm not saying I'm going to speak these languages in a vlog anytime soon, but maybe someday we'll do that as a thing. Like, I do 2 videos, one of them in English and one of them in one of those other languages that I would learn. And it's not, there's so many languages that exist in this world outside of English, and whatever or whatever country you're living in, whatever language that country has, that's amazing for you. And I expect great things from the individuals who watch these vlogs, and they either speak French or they speak Italian or they speak German or Portuguese or Spanish or any other language in the world that exists in all the countries in the world that exists. It is so interesting and fascinating to me that all of these languages exist. All of these countries exist. And, it's not easy to learn a language. It takes more than a day, maybe a week. Could be a month. It could be 6 months. It could be a year before you fully understand the language and know how to speak it properly and all that stuff. And it's not just gonna stick with you. You have to keep a repetition of learning the language. Even after you know the language, you have to understand that, these countries and all these other languages, it's not going to be easy to remember every single thing that you've learned. So you got to learn it again, and you got to learn it again, and learn it again, and learn it again. After you've learned it like 10 times, you've got to continue to learn it. No matter how many times it takes for it to stick or not stick, you got to keep doing it. And you got to keep striving to do it. No matter how small of a first step it is or how big of a giant leap it is, every single language takes time to learn. Like for me, even though I have a Portuguese book that for beginners, that doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to retain every single little piece of information that I learned from that book. It's going to have to read it again and read it again and read it again and read it again, so that I know whenever I maybe do go to Portugal someday, I know how to speak the language well enough that the locals or the the individuals that I may speak the language to know what I'm saying. And same things could be said about German, or any other countries that I may have listed, or the countries that I've not listed yet that could be included in that. And that's just something to think about when you're going into learning a new language. Is reading it over and over and over and over and over and over again until it finally sticks and stays in your brain for the duration of, say you were to go to Portugal or Germany or any of the other countries that exist that speak a different language than us in America. Sure, England speaks English as well, but they're proper English. They're way different English than America's English. And sure, in Canada, most of this country speaks English, but there is a few select cities in Canada that speak Canadian French. And then there's, France, where most of them speak French, and, all these other things. I'm rambling now, so I'm just going to stop right there. We've got a couple birthdays to wish today, so that's where we're going to end today's vlog. So I would like to wish Joe Beretta a happy 40th birthday, and I want to wish Stella Hudgens a happy birthday today as well. Now we've got a couple of birthdays tomorrow. No, wait, one birthday tomorrow. Then I've already gone over all this. I'm not saying who they are until the actual day happens, but so there's that. I will see you tomorrow with a brand new vlog, and bye-bye.